Hi, thanks for checking in. Um, we just got back from Florida. Wonderful time at ICAST. We owe our clients an apology. We all took off this year together. So my two sons and my wife and I checked out, and given that Sergey and Nadia and I are pretty much the office staff here, that meant that the office was shut down for a few days. The store kept on going and hopefully answered questions for folks, but we did take a pause so that we could attend the show. It's an important thing to go see. It is a once a year event, and given the situation last year with concerns about the virus, the show was canceled. This year, we had a few less participants than usual. It was still close to 500 booths. Attendance may have been down a little bit, but the enthusiasm of those that were there was pretty doggone high. And there were a number of products that really kind of fit into what our niche is out here on the West Coast anyway. And to a certain extent, a lot of those products transfer over to other areas in the nation and the world, because fishing is worldwide on the saltwater side of things. Our local bluefin bite got a lot of attention, as it has locally for us, but a lot of the guys in other parts of the country were enjoying vicariously what we were into out here and what we've been into out here for the last 8 years or so, it seems. And hopefully that continues. And then one of these days we'll get albacore and look for something else. Interesting range of products. A few manufacturers were not able to attend. Australia pretty well shut down, so the Nomad guys could not come out and show off their new wares, and they do have some new things they'll be previewing with us here shortly. But the show itself, always fun, always a few little interesting things that we see that kind of hone into and focus on. And the little brief video I'm going to do shows off a couple of those items that we found very, very intriguing. So we'll get on with the product. I'll have a few little comments to go along with it. This will be a brief video. It's not intended to be a overview of ICAST. Just a little bit of what we do when we go to the show. And I do have to say, while Sergey and I were working the show for a couple days hard, my youngest son was enjoying the pool, and Nadia, who runs the office, definitely needed a little bit of a break, and I think she got a little bit of that. But it's Sunday, and she's already been here since 7 o'clock in the morning working. In any event, I hope you enjoyed the little capsule video that we did of the show, and any questions, of course, get back to us here at Sharkbait, and be glad to go over what we saw and what the future direction is for fishing for the next year. Thank you for reviewing, and let's see what's new.
Okay, it's off to the show. Here we are. And we're waiting for it to open up. That's Sergey over there to the left. And first stop is going to be the new product showcase. The new product showcase is where they show new products. Amazing. And pretty cool. You always find a couple of things that stand out, and I sure as heck did. This is one that I think is going to be the future of rail rods. These tubes are designed to slip on the blank. They'll increase the strength of the blank itself, doesn't detract from it. It's a hard material that will not wear, and it's a little tacky. It comes from a different industry, but it has a great application in the rod building. And we will see that in the very near future on some rods that we hope to introduce. New accurate turn, star drag. They did some improvements. We'll see in the, probably by Christmas time. New slammer, new Daiwa Saltist MQ. And that's the piece. It won the best new saltwater reel of the show. Best saltwater soft lure came from Savage Gear. Hard bait was from Berkeley. Savage also had some neat swimmers. Lots of new iron. And we were certainly looking at the slow pitch and the fast jigging pieces. That is a new Mondo Flyer from Meg Bay. Big piece. Definitely it's a West Coast flying fish. Expensive, but the best of its type. And wonderful, wonderful slow pitch jigs, surface lures, lots of neat stuff that we saw at the show. This is kind of a new strap-on, you might call it. You can put it on a mackerel or other fin bait to make it appear to be a flying fish, and a fish looking up from down below is going to jump on that. Relatively inexpensive, under 15 bucks. You can pin it on a bait, and the bluefin love flying fish. Best footwear, a new boot, shorty from Extra Tough, a lot of new stuff from Extra Tough. Slammers, we'll see a change coming from them down the road. I saw more pin reels here than I've seen in the last 6 months shipped. There's a reason for it. They had a change of ownership. Last owners got a hold of Pure Fishing really as part of a big conglomerate, and they were going after Rubbermaid. New owners bought it because they want it, and I think that's going to be a positive for them. Best new soft lure, Berkeley got. Real neat piece. It kind of swims on its side, looks like a wounded bait fish. It's not a saltwater piece yet, but I could see that being real useful for calicos, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a saltwater version of that come in time. Steve Carson's doing the presentation. Steve's a great guy. I used to know him when he had dark hair, and he used to know me when I had hair. So probably go back 20 plus years with Steve. Real good guy. That's one of the high points about going to the show is, hooking up with guys that you talk to over the phone. You don't, meet them in person necessarily, or you see them just that, one opportunity a year at these shows. But Steve's a gem. He lives out here on the West Coast. Most of us know him from seminars or going on charters or whatever. But a real positive guy. Loves the product. Loves spin. Just a super, super character. And he's enthusiastic as he always is.
Yeah. Now, as far as what's going to happen on the next update of the Fathoms, we don't know yet. We have no idea. Every year, every project, even something as apparently similar as squall non-level wine and squall level wine, they're two separate projects. Separate engineering, separate marketing plan, separate pricing, blah, 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 blah. So for this year, I've already picked up a few on the internet. A lot of people didn't like the red trim on the high-speed slammers. I mean, a lot of people. And so, reading the social media last night, a handful of people are now unhappy that the red is gone.
30s, we did a close that on. There's half of the twins for Accurate, and they've been on a roll. I'd say Accurate, Avid, and Siegler have been our three most reliable suppliers. That's my lovely wife over there on the side. But they are having a challenge right now with getting labor, getting workers back. We're in California. Two of those three companies are in California, and they both are facing the same problem. Hard getting workers back. And that's, that has a political basis, I guess, and we won't go there. But it was great seeing the guys. They've been on a roll. The new Valiants have done great. The Turn, they're doing a couple of things to it that will make that piece very, very robust. It will improve that reel in ways, for the guys that are giving them a little more serious use on the jigging side, especially, I think. On the rod building side of things, there was an awful lot of interesting products shown off at the show. Here's Sergey educating me. He's a rod builder. I know very, very little in that respect. I just fish, but just some wonderful rod jewelry, you can call it. And again, fun to hook up with people that you don't get to see very often. That's Billy Vivana, and he's a regular on the East Coast side. I was made aware of him back Seeker Hercules days. But he's doing what he does best, and he comes to the shows, and he's demonstrating basically rod building techniques.
That's what Sergey was
Those
saying.
are,
You guys have
I
at
don't
home.
fish teeth
Mark,
on that handle material.
Nice to meet you.
Very, very tricky.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Billy. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you.
Catches more than I do. That is a unique item. That's a Winthrop butt, and it can be either a straight butt or a curved butt. That's the future of unibutts. You don't have to buy two different unibutts. You can use the same one. Now, Winthrop came out with it first, followed up here. That's a piece from Sea Guide. Sea Guide is a Chinese company, and they will be a very big competitor to both Alps and Fuji as time progresses. The company's owned by a lady, and she is tied in with the university system in China, and they have made major, major investments. So they're taking the guides and rod components into a new direction. Extra Tough. New sandals with a unique sole material that really improves the grip. they will be safe to walk on a slick deck. Darn things are great. And we probably will wind up carrying the sandals. That's not something that, we don't do much in clothing. That's not our niche. But darn good product. And the new boots they came out with, not the shoes so much, but the boots, those doggone things, take the ankle boot and make it a little bit lighter. They'll be more expensive, but they will be a lighter product. They're probably a little more comfortable. Although you can't get those old ankle boots out of my tackle bag. Those things have been wonderful compared to wearing the 12-inch versions. A lot of the deckies will still wear, of course. But extra tough, on a roll. New ownership there. Honeywell used to own them. Honeywell's the company that moved their production overseas. New owners are boot-oriented, shoe-oriented. We'll do a very great job. And that's a little quick rundown from the show. I stopped by.
Shark bait.
Thanks for watching. That's about it for me. And